Hey Bloodlust, it's Drysdale here. This is a quick guide on meta blue units for the upcoming season. The key thing I want to note here is I have individually ranked these myself based on their viability within TW. It doesn't mean they're a bad unit necessarily, and they're not viable in sieges and things like that, but the guide is kind of set out to show kind of what you should be leveling up, what units to take with you, and for me personally, every single person should have S tier units in their loadout for TW, and then a variety of A's and B's as we step through this. The first unit I want to talk about is the Kalyan Militia. Now these are not, I don't classify these as a range unit, these are a range utility unit. These should be very high priority and they're very viable. Massive damage output in big blobs of enemies, and make sure you go top vet line. Next unit is Halberdiers. Now these stack up and will kill pretty much anything in a 1v1 matchup in the blue meta. These are a must-have unit, exceptionally versatile, exceptionally good against Cav, and exceptionally good against pretty much every other unit, like I said. So make sure you get these units as soon as possible. Cap Spearman next. These are borderline S tier, but these are definitely a unit with really the only viable shield unit in blue meta, so definitely worth one leveling up. Very high priority and very versatile, and a top line please. The next few units are all damage focused units, so it's good to have one or two of these in your lineup. The first one is Sons of Fenrir. This is high priority. Viably, they're high to medium. There is some units that will last longer and have better sustainability, but these are very good units to take to territory wars. Arguably the best damage unit is the Prefecture Guards, so definitely make sure you get these in the mix. So I've put these guys as A's as they're untested and there's some nerfs coming. I think they'll be very viable. However, in 1v1 situations, most other units will stack up and be able to murder these guys pretty quickly. So just be a bit careful with how you play these. They work best in a stack on a push, so try and make sure you use them like that. This is actually personally one of my favourite units to play in the blue meta is the Cudgel monks. They are pretty good, have a massive damage output. They can 1v1 most things, but the secret weapon that they have is they will break and disrupt shields really, really well, which makes them exceptionally viable for territory wars. Now, there isn't really any decent cav in the blue meta. There is only two viable options. The first one is the outriders. Now, they do have a charge on there too, and they also do have the ranged ability. But I think most of the time we probably won't really be bringing much cav, as there's just not that many good cav units. The only real viable cav unit with a charge, they're like mini caches, is the Selmsid Cavalry. Well, I don't even know how to pronounce that. Yeah, if you want to bring cav as well for more of a charge-focused cav, then they are the ones that you want to take. Chucking in two more units here. These are both charge units. You have the Prefecture Pikemen, and you have the Landsknecks. Now, the Landsknecks have shield breaker abilities where the other pikemen don't. The reason why these aren't as viable is because their sustainability in battle is relatively low. You have to charge them in and then get them out. And to be honest, when we're pushing, we'll be better off pushing with the likes of Prefecture Guards, Fenrirs, things like that. Hence, they're kind of beer class units. But nonetheless, they are still very useful for an initial push to clear out some enemies and do some damage. But that said, the Kalyan Militia, when they throw, are going to be a lot better in helping the team push. And finally, probably arguably the only ranged unit that I have in here is the Janissaries. These are going to be exceptionally useful on defending choke points and things like that. We won't expect to see many of them in the fights, but they are the only kind of ranged unit I probably would ask us to take. If not, it might be the Incinerary or the Prefecture Archers. And then finally, here is an overview of my tier list for Territory Wars for Bloodlust and what we should be looking to take. We shouldn't be looking to take any other blue units apart from these, so no squires, nothing like that. We should all be focusing on getting the units as shown, leveled up and viable and usable for Territory Wars. As I said about ranged units, they are a taboo, so we want to avoid the use of ranged units in territory wars as standard because it stops us from being able to push points well and to fight on them. Now, that's not to say that ranged units aren't good at killing shit, because they are, but it's much better to have a foot soldier unit, a damage unit to do that. And thanks for watching, guys. Take care.